This is the Recovery Protocol, episode 7. Okay, here I'm going to discuss spiritual and transformational growth. Okay, I'm not the world's leading expert on this subject or this topic. I don't have certification specifically as a pastor or a priest. However, I've read the Bible. I know things. I follow, pastors like Joel Osteen, Joseph Prince. I've done research on mindvalley.com, which is a spiritual and transformational growth platform. I've compiled a complete list of some of the top platforms and websites and pastors and priests, for your specific personality. Okay, you could research all of them and find the best one for your personality, for your situation. That talks the way that you can best understand. So go through this list. Check out mindvalley.com, masterclass.com. Look at different classes you could take for spiritual and transformational growth. But also I want to discuss that I am listing pastors and priests like Joel Osteen, Joseph Prince in this list. Other pastors, you can find your local church. They have online presence, free YouTube channels. You can watch Joel Osteen for free on YouTube. I watch him free on YouTube. Okay? You don't have to go to this church. You don't have to donate. Watch it free on your smart TV. Watch it free on your computer, your phone. These sermons once a week on Sundays, okay? Or it could be any day because it's on the internet. You can watch it whenever you have time, okay? Any day of the week, all right? So that's what I do. I believe in, now with AA, and if you're an addict and you're lost, they say that you need to have a higher power, okay? A higher power, whether you believe in some deity, a higher power, or a God, or something above you, some higher power that has, more power than you. You're not, as an addict, you have to give up the fact that you're not in control, okay? God's in control, a deity's in control, a superior life force is in control, the universe is in control, karma is in control, the cosmos is in control, something above you, right? If you look at quantum mechanics and quantum physics, all right? On the molecular level, everything vibrates, everything has a frequency. On the molecular level, down to the atoms and molecules and protons and electrons and electricity flowing through everywhere. There's electrical impulses flowing through your brain, electrical impulses signaling your heart to keep you alive. And, the chemical impulses, chemical and neurological, electrical signals and impulses in your brain, help you to think. And drugs disrupt that. Drugs affect that in a negative way. Now, you have to understand that what I believe is that everything's connected, whether you believe in God, the universe, cosmos, karma, any religion, and even science, Scientology, or like evolution, things like that. It all works together. It's all kind of the similar. Everything, however we started, however we evolve and progress in the world, and through evolution and science and religion, and how God wants us to act and how we should act and how we should behave as a civilized society, right? We should all act in a manner that benefits others and benefits ourselves and keeps us safe, happy, healthy, and mentally and physically healthy, all right? Safe from danger, safe from, and not be a predator, not be a danger to society, not being malicious, not wanting to cause harm, okay? So with drugs and drug dealers out there, any addict has to understand that it's kind of like a battle, all right? It's a battle, and you're in a war, all right? So I see life as a chess game. You're a king or a queen on the chessboard, and you're playing this game. You have a knight, a bishop, and a rook. You have your pawns. This is your family, okay? These chess pieces, this chessboard, the chessboard is the battlefield. It could be your neighborhood, your city, it could be your state, it could be the US, it's the world, This is the battlefield, it's the entire world. And they say the world is your playground, but sometimes it's a battlefield, right? These drug dealers, the cartels out there, things are happening. You might have seen someone got shot, someone overdosed and died, someone got HIV, someone's injecting, they got hospitalized, maybe they're in a psych ward or hospital, someone's in prison, they just hurt someone, or they, were selling drugs, or they were manufacturing, or they got in a car accident and killed someone. All these things happen every day, and it's a battlefield. You have to understand that you have to master this game. You have to be expert at this game. You have to boost your memory, your cognitive functioning, your concentration, focus, attention, spatial thinking. You have to increase your IQ. All these things you have to think about on the chessboard to protect your family, keep your family alive. Okay, this drug dealer is coming after my kid and I have to do something. You have to do something. Call the cops, get a restraining order. You have to stand up for your beliefs. You might have to speak up. You might have to confront them. A lot of times I learned from someone close to me that you have to confront your attackers. Someone attacks you. It could be someone talking shit, someone disrespecting you, someone that is selling your child drugs on the street. Sometimes you have to confront them. It doesn't have to be with the firearm. You don't always have to pop off a warning shot. That's an extreme last resort, and it can still be very dangerous. So be extremely careful if you ever decide to do that. But sometimes you also just have to confront them. Talk to them. Hey, say, hey, I don't want you around my kid. There's going to be problems. Cops are going to get involved. I'm going to get the FBI involved. We're going to do more investigations. I've got your license plate. I know who you are. I just took a picture, this and that. Sometimes just confront your attackers. It can be risky. Advice on the internet says never confront, attackers, drug dealers, or anything like that. But sometimes you got to be a man, or you have to be a protector. You have to be a woman. If you're the king, you're the queen on the chessboard. You have to protect your family. These are your soldiers. Knight, bishop, rook, pawns. This is your family. These are your pieces. Pawns might be children. Pawns might be babies. Knight, bishop, rook might be the uncles and cousins, the elderlies that have it life experience, okay? And they're part of the family. You might want to get together, group up, confront the attacker, so you don't have to confront this drug dealer yourself. Sometimes that's just an idea. It's a concept to where anything can happen. You might get some negative feedback from a doctor, and they might say, oh, your kid's psychotic. They need all this antipsychotic medication, and that's going to harm them. They're not psychotic. They're just a drug addict, and they need to recover. And maybe maybe you believe they have autism or bipolar or something else, and they have symptoms. Maybe it's just lack of sleep, and they were just temporarily manic or temporarily insane or something. Or it's just maybe a family attribute, a familial, bloodline attribute or trait, or personality disorder, like a personality disorder, to where you have to confront the doctor now. Confront the doctor. Say, hey, look, I think you're wrong. I want to get a second opinion. I don't want my child taking all these harmful drugs. So sometimes you just have to be very specific, do research, look at what you think. That it's also a family decision. Doctors make their diagnosis, they have some treatment plans, but in my situation, sometimes with multiple doctors, they have different opinions. Sometimes the addict has different symptoms, at different times. Sometimes it's like sleep, like a food, sleep deprivation, food deprivation, dehydration. It could be something going on in a specific moment, maybe a stress over an exam, stress over college, exams, stress over work, stress over finances, anxiety about the future, anxiety about being able to afford a home or get a job or hold a job, be stable, right? So there's a lot of synergy in the universe. And I also want to say that you have, as an American citizen, as a human being, okay, as a man or woman, anybody, any good person, all right? I want to talk to the benevolent, good people out there. You have a primal and divine right to defend yourself and your family, to protect yourself and your offspring and your children, all right? You have the primal divine right to protect yourself and your family, all right? So that means that it's kind of animalistic. It's kind of instinctual. All this law stuff, this paperwork, okay, your rights can be taken away. You had the right, but now you're in prison. Okay, you're in a psych ward. Now your rights are taken away if you mess up. So now you have no rights. So forget all the man-made laws, man-made rights on the paperwork. You have the primal right, right? This is your instinctual right, your animalistic right to protect yourself and your family, all right? Animals do this, all right? Instinctual, primal right to defend yourself and your family, all right? And not only that, you have the divine right, your God-given right, inalienable right, inalienable God-given right to protect yourself and your family, okay? This is from God. This is from a higher power. This is from a superior being, all right? An entity who created the universe itself. You have the primal divine right to protect yourself and your family, all right? And you might have legal laws and these Texas Penal Code sections and articles and subchapters and this and that, but however, just keep in mind, right? You have the primal divine right to protect yourself and your family. Utilize the law to the best of your ability. If it works in your favor, that's great. But never tell a cop or a judge or a lawyer or any drug dealer or any criminal or anyone on the street or even your friends or family. Don't tell them you don't have a right. Don't let them tell you that you don't have a right to protect yourself or your family. All right. I've seen shirts on the internet, on Amazon, on the internet that says, I'm not afraid to go to prison to protect my daughter. I'm not afraid to go to prison to protect my family. That means you do what you have to do. You might go to prison for it, but you're not afraid to go to prison to protect your family. That's how much you love your family, okay? That's how much you love your children. And if you respect yourself, you're going to defend yourself with the same capabilities, all right? So this is about spiritual and transformational growth, okay? So, whatever you believe in, karma, the cosmos, the universe, evolution, science, it all works together. There's medicine, there's advancements in science, there's technology, there's AI, all right? You can believe God was the master planner, the master creator of all this. He developed all the blueprints. The universe was a part of it. At the quantum physics level and quantum mechanics level, all the atoms and electrons and protons and tiny molecules in the universe that has its own vibrations and frequencies, all right? All this work together with, different energies and synergy, and we just got to the point to where we are today, all right? So if you want to be a positive part of the universe, positive part of God's crew, right? The God Squad, some people call it the God Squad, then you want to be a Christian, whatever religion you believe in, right? Catholicism, being a Catholic, being a Christian, all right? Or just being a good person that believes in a higher power in something, then you understand that you need to be the most capable, competent person on the battlefield, on this chessboard. You want to protect your family from danger. You got to have strategy. You got to have vision. All right. You have to be accurate with your moves. You have to be decisive. You have to be assertive. All right. Sometimes you have to move forward. Sometimes you have to retreat. Okay. And if you want to save all the pieces on the battlefield, sometimes you just don't fight at all and you just surrender and retreat and leave the city, leave the town. Keep your whole family alive. Take everyone with you. All right. Sometimes you have to battle it out, calling the cops, making a scene. All right. Confronting your attackers, speaking out, saying there's going to be problems. All right. It could be a text. It could be a message. It could be a letter. Say, hey, open this when you get home. Give them a letter. Sometimes, hey, here's the letter. It gives you time to walk away and to protect yourself. Get strapped. And if they try to break in your house, you can protect yourself by any means necessary, right? Give them a letter, say, hey, take off. I don't want you around my family. There's all sorts of things you could do. Use your imagination, use AI, talk to people, be creative, and be wise, and be careful, all right? And be smart, be intelligent. What would an intelligence operator do? How would someone in the CIA manage this? How would someone in the CIA or NSA, how would a government operative, how would someone with the highest IQ in the world handle this situation? All right, what would I do? Send a note, send a text, confront this drug dealer. What would I say? Would I and get their license plate and report it to the cops, report it to Crime Stoppers. All these different things, all these different moves are moves on the chessboard to protect your soldiers, your men, your women, your children, your family. All right, you're the king or queen on the chessboard. All right, protect your family. All right, this whole world is a battlefield. Things happen all the time. You got to be safe. You have to be wise, competent, smart, careful. All right, and make the best decisions possible. That puts you in the best position available. Make the best decisions possible that puts you in the best position possible. All right. So whether that's your mental, physical health, your location, your status, where you work, how much money you make, what you do in the world, how you benefit others, and the impact you make not only in the world but in your family's lives. Right? Are you a part of the family? Are you doing the intervention yourself? Instead of paying thousands of dollars for an intervention, you can do an intervention yourself. Man up, be a woman, be a man, step in and say, this is what we need to do. Google research, use AI. How would I do an intervention, right? How would I do an intervention myself? And what it is, you step up, you talk to the family, say, we need to get you treatment, write letters, sit down, have a sit down in the living room, have a sit down at the dinner table or living room, and say, and you could record it if you want. Say, hey, I want to make a video. If they disagree or disagree, then video or not, say these are the letters. We care about you. We love you. We want you to get better. We care about your future. We want you to have a bright future. We want you to have a family. We don't want you to hurt anyone. We don't want you to overdose and die. There's people dying out there. There's people overdosing. These drugs, we don't want you to be funding the cartel. If you understand, you're funding the cartel. We want you to be wise with your money. We want you to take your vitamins, be healthy. We want you to get a gym membership. All right, we love you. We care about you. We want you back. We want the old you back. We don't want this drug dealer, drug addict injecting. Some trauma might have happened. We need to get through the trauma. Get counseling. Get a doctor. You know, we need to make it through this, all right, together as a family. And, you know, once they understand that, then it's the next person's turn. That might have been the mother. Then the father needs to speak. Then the brother and sister need to speak and read off the letters that they said. It could take 30 minutes to an hour for everyone to finish their statements. And then the drug addict, they might have a lot of emotion. They might cry. They might say, okay, hopefully they accept help. Yes, I will get help. I will get better. I will go to rehab. I will go to detox. You know, and from there, it's only 30 days. It might only be 30 days. It might be 30, 60, 90 days. It could be very expensive. Hopefully your insurance covers it. Try to get them the best help you can. Try to get the most affordable care. After 30 days, you need ongoing support. Get ongoing group therapy, therapy from a counselor, all the online resources that I gave you, which are more affordable. Some take insurance, some are out of pocket. And then also my Discord channel. I'll be there, okay? I'm an actually certified recovery coach, life coach, and intervention professional, okay? And I have my experiences that I speak from. And we can play chess together. We can get online. We can discuss things. I could be also these AI chat bots. And also myself, we could be these check-ins, okay? How are you doing? What'd you do today? You know, how'd you feel? Did you go for a walk? Did you go to the gym? Did anyone bother you? Did you disconnect all your social media? Did you change your phone number yet? Hold them accountable. Make sure they're taking the actionable steps to protect themselves, all right? You have to care about yourself, and then you can care about your family and then others, all right? You always have to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you can help others, because if you pass out, you can't help anyone else around you. Take care of yourself, be healthy, be as competent and healthy and, capable as you can be, all right? Then you can make progress in your life. You have a bright future, all right? We'll get through this together. That's the video for today, all right? The main point of this, go through all the notes. The notes for this section, the recovery protocol number 7, spiritual and transformational growth. Go through these notes and look through all these links. And I know they can help, okay? I know they can help. Choose the one that's best for you. Choose all of them or some of them that are best for you. Look at the free options available, okay? The free options and maybe the low cost options if you can afford it. All right, and do more research. Use AI. Go through all the internet. This is just a compiled list that I put together to the best of my abilities to help those out there that can use it. All right, so that's it. Stay safe and take care.